Maya also put on her pack. Their supplies were relatively evenly distributed between each member in the group. This way, if one of them got dragged away by a monster and eaten, then the rest of them wouldn't be completely hopeless. Even going back to the guild would require supplies so they didn't starve to death. James looked at the others and saw that they were ready. With how often they took on requests, it was now second nature to quickly be prepared to continue their journeys. "You going to turn back on the stream?" Maya asked. Raising his bracelet, James was going through the menu. Nodding, James said, "We did say that the stream would continue after we took a short break." He turned to look at Maya. "Why? Don't feel like streaming for the day?" Shaking her head, Maya said, "Not that. I was just curious." It wasn't long before there was a small screen that hovered above the bracelet. On it displayed their group from the vantage point as when he had stopped the broadcast. Moving the camera so that it was in front of his face, he took a moment to see the comments on the second screen. It was filled with the typical, "You're back," and "I was missing Maya," that let him know that the viewers were again watching the content. Every now and then, you just need to take a break in order to recharge. "I hope everyone didn't mind that we turned off the live stream for a bit," James said into the camera. Repositioning the camera so that it recorded the rest of the group, James continued, "As you can see, we're ready to keep going until we reach the city and check in at the guild. For those that are thinking about taking a request that takes several days, it's good to consider having teammates that are prepared. They need to be able to handle the stress that comes with these types of adventures," James continued to say to the audience. There were a few vibrations on his bracelet as viewers sent donations. While James was streaming, Maya made sure to watch the comments to know when donations came through and responded to them. There was another camera that hovered in front of her. "Thanks for the 200 guild points," Maya smiled into the camera. Whenever she answered donations, the scene that viewers would see was Maya's face popping up, while the primary camera screen displayed shrunk slightly. It was the same with the other members of the team if they were to talk. The ability for the viewer to watch each of them when they engaged was something that James was experimenting with the longer they did live streaming in the simulation. "We should head out before we run into any more monsters," Adam said with a grin. Creating another camera and throwing it further away from them to allow the audience to watch their movements, James nodded at Adam's words. The forest around them being so dense, there was always the concern that monsters could be hiding anywhere. As all of you know, we've been using animal trails to navigate through the forest. James talked to the screen. If you don't know what that is, the trail is created from animals foraging in the vegetation. We just got a donation asking why there would be such a thing. They might be confused and need more of an explanation, Maya said to James, reading off the text in the donation. She likely saw other comments that were being shared in the audience. James looked back at Adam. "Do you mind answering that?" The more James did live streaming, he started to understand that it was essential to include the others in his party. This was in order to help them feel like they were a valuable part of what they were doing. Additionally, the viewers would be able to connect with them since not all the viewers would be interested in just James or Maya.